All right, guys. Today's gonna be a little episode of working on the clutch on the Can MX3. Shit, that's a little anti-seize. Anyway, we're gonna be putting an ibexx kit. This is the old belt. It's kind of wore out, but on the little journey of today, we're gonna change the helix, then put a whole ibexx kit on there. And I got the weights over here. But let's try it out, see how it goes, see how I like that brand. If not, we're going to go with the EVP one. But let's give it a shot. So to everybody that's actually like scared to work on these, it's actually really simple. So I've done a lot of research. This is actually my first one that I do. So it's going to be an arrow on the helix, obviously. I kind of marked everything just to see how it goes. But there's an arrow right there. Then kind of marked it around. Then another arrow on the backside. So once you get your compression tool, you kind of snug it in there and then give it like one more turn just to put some compression on there, just so the spring in the helix doesn't go flying. And then you're gonna take out these 3 screws. They are size 13 millimeters or ½ inch, whichever you want to use, doesn't matter. Then for instance, I already took the screws off, so you just start unscrewing off and you'll see it just decompress. So I'll show you guys here in a little bit how it's gonna look. It's decompressed already, so we're gonna take out the helix. So this is just, normal wear. Unless you see gouges, then that's gonna be your rollers causing issues. This is your stock spring. So depending on your setup, you're gonna use this spring or you're gonna use the aftermarket one they send you. It depends on tire size, obviously, and just whatever you want to set it up. And this right here is a sleeve. It's kind of hard to do one-handed, but so you gotta take it off. But there it is. You don't put that back in at all. And then you just kind of gotta inspect your rollers, make sure there's no cracks. But I mean, so far it's looking good. I might just install new rollers, to be honest. Kind of don't like how they're looking, but we'll see. So we took them apart. There's no gouges on the, whatever you call this, on the secondary discs. So you're gonna want to clean all this, belt residue off. Obviously it's nice and dusty in there, but obviously I got belt residue right here. So we're gonna get a Scotch-Brite and just clean it up, make it look good and smooth. That way you don't have issues in the future, because that will give you issues. I don't know if you guys can. So now we got all these surfaces clean. Oh shit, put my fingerprint on there. Anyway, I cleaned both sides, as best as I could. You can't see anything like any belt residue or whatever. Make sure you guys brake clean everything, make sure it looks good. So right now we're just gonna take this apart. Just gonna take these screws off the helix and the little cap. So we're gonna remove this cap, put it to the side for now. Then I'll show you guys how to install it back. Okay, so this is really hard to actually do one-handed, but okay. Let's see, so we're gonna grab this one, go down with it carefully, and just put it right here. Then we're gonna lower this one down. Should kind of insert where it goes. Boom. Okay, so like I said before, these arrows, you have to line them up. Mine's somewhere there, but I'm gonna make sure, obviously when I compress them together, they're lined up. My rollers still look good. Obviously they're gonna, after this trip coming up, I'm gonna change them out, but we'll see if they hold up. They should hold up either way, but it's not very hard to do that. I mean, if you got the proper tools, you're able to do that. For instance, this tool here is, you gotta take the screw out for the rollers. And then this tool here, it's going like that, and then you're gonna pull them out. It's a little pin that comes out. You're able to replace it, and then you gotta punch the little pin back in. All right, so I kind of set up a little platform here. I guess I just shoved my electric ratchet there, just to kind of show you guys. It's really hard to do one-handed. So when you guys put the helix in, so see, you guys want to make sure this little ramp side, it's on the rollers. So, and also these little arrows have to be lined up. If not, the helix, when you bolt through the back, it's not gonna line up. And if you put your helix this way, you're in the wrong. It's not gonna work. No, I'm just showing you guys. Obviously it's my first time, but it's not that difficult. I know I'm gonna get a lot of backlash, a lot of hate, because I'm showing you guys how to do this, and a lot of people take it as business, but I really don't care. It's all fun and games for me. So I'm gonna show everybody how it's done to the best of my ability, and in the future, make it better for everybody. A little update. So I got these Helix bolts torqued down, these 3. So it's gonna be 45 foot-pounds. And we're gonna put it back on here. And just kind of slide it down. But getting my information off of this diagram right here. Kind of hard to see, but it's there. Anyway, we're gonna put the spring in there now, and then we're gonna compress it down and put that little cap on there as well. Then I'll show you guys how it looks. All right, so now that we got the back bolts torqued down, so we put the spring in. So this is the spring they sent me. There is a chart that tells you what spring to use, like I mentioned before. So put the spring in there. And then right here on the Helix, you guys zoom in, there's a 0 mark, and there's a 45-degree mark, 90, 180, and I think that's 35. But the Helix cap, can't really see it, huh?
Yeah, the numbers are there.
Yeah.
That one says 90, 45.
Yeah, so the Helix caps, this one specifically has a little mark. So this little mark, you're gonna wanna put it right at the 0-degree mark, if not as close as you can to it, but it should line up just about exactly with it. So we're gonna move this a little bit. Slide that down. One more. Boom, right there. So once that's done, you gotta put your tool to compress it. Watch. Put the tool in there. Actually, no. So this kit, you have to put this tool in here like that. And from there, tool. You just spin that thing in. Pause it. We're gonna start compressing it down slowly. Now you gotta be careful, because you have to line this cap right into it has a little slot where it goes into. You can't, it's really easy to damage these, but it should be going in easy like that. So it's in. So you put right when you get it to the 0 mark, right there.
Sure they're able to see it.
All right, it's obviously gonna be off a little bit, tiny bit, not much, but it's right at the 0. So when you come in, put your screws. So it's gonna be 3 screws grabbing this. One more. So I'm just gonna tighten these down, just snug them down. And then you wanna have a socket and the wrench on hand, just so you can tighten it and put your degree on it for the tension. So here's the chart. Obviously we're gonna follow the chart. So whatever year your Can-Am is, let's see. So obviously we're stock horsepower, then 32-inch tires right there. Your altitude, 0 to 3,000 feet. Tri-Cities is like 300, 400. I know Winchester Bay is like 550 or so. Anyway, your magnet position, we're gonna come back to this. We'll work on the primary. That's our magnet, and then that's where it tells you the orange-yellow spring. And then depending what you want to use it for, so Winchester Bay is going to be sand. So I'm going to go 125 degrees on the spring for tension. And it should be at this mile an hour. From 20 to 70, it should be a steady 7,600 RPMs. So right now we're going to put tension on this. Just going to spin it. So I got to loosen these bolts a little bit. Then we're going to spin it. Got it? So loosen that a little bit. So it's 45. So I'm gonna do it both hands, but it's a little hard. But I'll show you guys once we get to that degree that we want to be at. Okay, so that was a pain in the ass, not gonna lie. So we kind of made a mark here where I would think, and kind of subtracting for 90 and 135, that should be 125. So now we gotta take out the tool. It's kind of nice, huh?
So I believe you have quality.
So this is done. Secondary is done. So you always want to double check your marks. So we got the arrow here, matches the arrow here. This is right there, boom. And it should be good. Obviously the rollers look good. Their positions where it's supposed to be. That's it. So we're gonna install this, then I'll show you guys how to do the primary here in a little bit. We're gonna start working on these weights for the primary clutch. So you have the little arms right here. So these little slots are for your weights, so were your magnets. So on some, like the Evil brand, the EVP, so this would be your low end, and then this one in the middle on the Evil for mid-range, and then top end. So depending on your setup, obviously the EVP has a little more adjustability for whatever your setup is. So like on this chart, it says we're going to use one magnet on the first and second hole. Now if it said 1.5 magnets, so it'll be, I don't know if you noticed, but these magnets are a little bit different size. So you'll be putting, for the 1.5, you putting one of these with the small one. So the small one goes first and then the big one. But in this case, we're only using one on each little hole. And then I have this cool looking tool right here to change the weights. So we'll see how it goes. So I just got them installing the weights on there. So let's see, one on each little hole. But always make sure that those little magnets right there, they're actually seated all the way down. If they're not seated all the way down, obviously it's not going to be balanced correctly, and it's not the correct way to do it. But just be careful, double check, make sure you don't double stack them either. So I already made sure everything was good on all these. So this tool is called an advanced collapse tool. I just remembered, but we're gonna go ahead and install these now. So obviously I had to clean up a little bit. Anyway, so this advanced collapse tool, so we're gonna obviously insert it back here. It'll kind of hook behind the primary gear or primary fucking clutch. Then from there, just gonna pull that tension. So obviously opened it up, and now you got access to it. So you have to take this bolt off, and then this nut right here, and then this washers on each side. So make sure you guys don't drop anything in there. And then this little weight arm right here, it's gonna come off, and then you're gonna put your new one in there. And then you got one up here, and this should be like a total of 6 if I'm right. So we're gonna change one by one, then I'll get back at you guys when I'm done. Okay, so it's a little hard to do everything by yourself, but hopefully you guys can see that. I already took the nut off. So that's gonna be a size 8. The top is gonna be a size T25 hex head. So you're gonna slide out the bolt. Just like I said, make sure you don't drop the washers in there. Kind of be careful with it. So, boom, that's the weight. These washers right here, make sure you do not drop them. And if you do, you better make sure you find it and take it out. So that's it for that. Just this bolt, T25, little size 8 nut right here. You can see that. And then this is the factory weight. So we're gonna grab it, the aftermarket one, and we're gonna install it the same way we took it off. So, yep. Okay, so like I said, these are the washers. There's 2 per weight. So with the new ones, you do not need to reinstall those. So all you have to do is put it back in there like so. So once that goes in there, just hopefully it doesn't fall or anything, but that bolt should go in there like that. Oh, that was actually pretty easy. And then you're gonna grab the nut, then obviously put it at the bottom, and then from there, these aren't torqued at all. Like, well, they are torqued, but like not very much. You can literally hand tighten these, and that's it. You do not over tighten. If you over tighten it, it's gonna snap that bolt really quick. So time to do this 6 more times, well 5 more times, and then we should be good. Okay, so all the weights are in. I'm just gonna hit the inside here with Scotch-Brite. Obviously my cover's broken, but it's a problem for later. I really don't care. But always double check, make sure this bearing rotates freely. You hear no rough sounds out of it. Then should be good. Just get some Scotch-Brite, clean that up, brake clean it, and it should be good to go. All right, so now I got everything prepped. We're gonna install it. So let's see, let's get it in there. Okay, just make sure you align it. I'm gonna go ahead and align it right now, but this bolt, we're gonna torque it down to 54 foot-pounds. And it should be good to go. We'll put the belt on, then we'll try it out and see how it goes. Okay, so this one of the final updates. So the clutch is in, the bolt is torqued down. I put a fresh belt on there just because obviously didn't like how this one really looked, to be honest. Let's see this. See, it's starting to come apart right there. And on this side, right here next to my hand. But obviously, I mean, I wouldn't mind carrying this one around just in case. Would I recommend using it? No. But you know, it's just in case I need to get out of a certain spot. But once you install your new belt, obviously just get it tight by spinning your secondary. Once you get that tension on that belt, you should be able to start it, and it should be good to go. And just like that, you know, secondary is not spinning, which that's a good sign. You don't want it to spin at all. So we'll just let it warm up. I gotta take it down off the lift, and then from there, gotta move that car, and then we'll take it on the spin right now. Then we'll see how it goes. Right now we're just gonna test it at 20 miles an hour, and then we're gonna hit 70 miles an hour, full throttle, see what it does. Little update on the Can-Am. Totally love the clutch. It works really, really good. So I'm revving up to, let's see, at first it was 8,200, but then once the belt started, you know, breaking in, it went down to 8,000, which you should be at like 70. The paper said 7,600 RPMs, but we're at 8,000, which it should range from 79 to 81, if I'm right. Correct me if I'm wrong, I guess. But so far it's good. I think I'm gonna leave it there and then try it out in the sand. And if I need more adjustments, you know, obviously I got all the tools to do it on the field. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Right now we're just gonna service it, you know, grease everything, then just get it ready for next week. Okay, so I put 2 weights closest to the screw, and then I left 1 weight at the end for the top end. So it starts grabbing at like 2,000 RPMs, and it feels really good. Like, it feels better than before. So right now we're gonna try it at 10 miles an hour, and it's gonna go.